what is going on right now? Why is there such a strong shift to cryptocurrency, and why are more people starting to really look at it as a long-term investment rather than just a hedge from basically going from one thing to another? So when we think about what's really going on in cryptocurrency right now, we understand that if you are someone who has been into cryptocurrency for a long period of time, or you're just getting involved with cryptocurrency now, there's an article, a YouTube video that I posted with Raoul Pal and Tom Bailu. And you have to realize that Raoul Pal is one of the most sought after people in the space of traditional finance. So he was basically one of the main guys that CEOs looked for advice for, diversifying their funds in traditional finance way back, 15, 20 years ago. And so now he has become a huge proponent of cryptocurrency. Ooh, it's bright. And he did a segment with a guy by the name of Tom Bailu, who is essentially a self-made millionaire by essentially really just trying things over and over again and failing at certain things and then having the determination to push forward. And what he does is he's created a YouTube channel of well over 1 million viewers. And he basically just talks to people on a daily basis. And he just, says, what are they doing? What's going on? Why have these people gotten to the ranks that they've gotten to? But Raoul Pal was on yesterday. There's an hour and 45-minute segment. So I want you to understand, if you do go back to look at that, you're going to need a lot of time, but it is worth your while to definitely look at it. What's going on in the cryptocurrency market right now is there is a shift, and a huge shift, from traditional finance to really cryptocurrency and DeFi in particular. And so why is this becoming so valuable? Well, if you look at the current price of what Ethereum is almost $4,000 right now. It's getting there. Now, if you go back a year ago, Ethereum was about $1,300. $1,300. It's not much, right? But when you think about that gain that you're able to X involved in, that is incredible. Now, there's a good chance and possibility that Ethereum may actually go to 7 or 8K by the end of the year. But there are a couple factors to consider that go with that. One of which is essentially that the gas fees on Ethereum's network are extremely high. And there are other protocols out there, like Matic as an example, that are basically shattering Ethereum. They just don't have that same institutional popularity just yet. But when they get there, they're going to make a significant impact. Now, many companies have already started taking Matic, which is Polygon, and bringing them onto their platform because they realize that the interoperability that Matic has and the cross-chain compatibility that Matic has is far superior to Ethereum. And people are able to get, Matic very cheap, about $1, 30, 40 right now, something like that. And you're able to pay in fees of fractions of a penny. So why would you want to pay for fees that are pay for fees that are hundreds of dollars right now on the Ethereum network versus to pay for fees when it's, far, far, far less? So why would you want to do that? Well, think about it. You wouldn't, right? You wouldn't want to do that, because if you did that, you're just going to be ending up paying a lot of money in Ethereum, and it's not going to be worth your while. So the alternative to that is Matic. And so I'm a huge proponent of Matic and their ecosystem. I'm a huge proponent of Cardano and their ecosystem. And I believe personally that Matic's ecosystem and Cardano's ecosystem will overshadow Ethereum's ecosystem in the future. I'm not saying that in the present, and the reason why I don't say that in the present is because of the fact that Ethereum is so well known. You have Bitcoin as the store of value, and you have Ethereum as the main communication network for smart contracts right now. Now, Cardano is going to put out their smart contracts on September 12th, which will be a very big deal for Cardano and all of the projects on the ADA network. However, the popularity right now is still in Ethereum. And so because the popularity is still in Ethereum right now, that is still where a lot of institutions are really looking towards. They haven't realized that Matic and Cardano, although maybe Cardano has a little bit of influence, Matic has nothing just yet. But when Matic starts to get the recognition that it really deserves, then you are going to start to see a huge shift towards Polygon. Huge shift. And so you need to be aware of that, because many people ask me on a daily basis, Mr. Live, what coins should I be getting? Well, if I were you, you can look and you can get low cap gems, right? You can get these gems that are going to 100x, 1000x, that are going to basically give you a really quick return. But what is the longevity of those projects? And the longevity of the projects is the essential component. If the longevity is not there, then there's no point, right? Because if you're going to just basically buy and hold, and your strategy is that, and you're not a day trader, and you're not somebody who trades avidly, then you are going to want to what? Sell at some point. And so if you're going to want to sell, you have to know when you can sell. So you have to know what the longevity of the project is. So in doing so, there are some factors that you have to consider with any project. One is the fundamental nature. So that's extremely important to understand, is what is the fundamental nature of the project? Who are the people behind the project? What have those people done in the project previously, right? So these are just a few key components of essentially what you should be looking for in any one of these projects. Very important to understand. Now, as you guys know, as of recent, really when I say recent, I mean the past 6 or 7 months, there's also been a huge shift into the decentralized financial economy, right? And so what does DeFi provide? DeFi provides an ability for anybody to get involved without the middleman. So not only does it increase in the scalability of essentially what Bitcoin originally provided, but it also provides a little bit more privacy in nature, and without, really including any kind of like Zeke snark coding or anything like that. But it increases the privacy and it minimizes the kind of institutional involvement that banks essentially have a hold on many of us for right now. And so knowing that, and to that capacity, and understanding that really DeFi over the past 6 months to, let's call it a year even, like right when coronavirus hit, which was more than a year ago, but you started to see a huge rise in NFTs. And what are NFTs? NFTs are non-fungible tokens. NFTs are digital assets that you are able to sell online and you are able to, or make rather, online, and then resell for an undetermined value. So you could do that for whatever value you want, right? Now, recently, I made an NFT myself. Now, I did this through Binance Smart Chain, okay? I did this through there. It cost me a total of $5 to make the NFT. I already had the digital art produced, so for me it cost $5. And whatever I decide to sell it for is whatever I decide to sell it for. Now, many people are making crazy amounts of money in this market. Why are they doing that? Because they have this ability, this recognition. Like, for example, you take Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez put out, what was it, 1,000, I think it was 1,000 of his digital NFT albums, and he sold them each for $1. Okay, now this guy became an instant beyond multimillionaire just from this. Now, each one of his NFTs, his digital NFTs for his art, is now worth over $30,000 each. Now imagine that kind of a wealth shift for somebody who paid $1. And there was no cap to how many you could actually purchase. So someone could have bought 100, paid $100, and now each one of those is worth a minimum of $30K each. I mean, that's crazy. Now, he was a little bit prophetic in his language and the way he basically went online and explained to all different artists that, you know, you don't need a record label anymore. You can do this through any NFTs. You can produce your digital content through NFTs, and you can just make a crazy amount of money. So the guy basically became a platinum artist overnight just by selling those, or maybe it was 1 million, sorry. 1 million, not 1,000, 1 million of his NFTs. Now, any artist can do that. Any well-known artist can do that. He just set the stage for doing so. So what is my point here? My point here is that with an NFT, you can essentially have one particular person who can sell one particular NFT, right? So Tory Lanez had one NFT that he could actually sell, and one person could buy one of those. They could buy multiple versions of it, but they could only buy one, right? That's it. Now, what I have been involved with over the last 7 months is creating a platform where not only can the person actually create a what we call iNFT, which is essentially an NFT with an infinitive capability, but at the same time, they're able to actually stake in future licensing revenue of that particular digital product. And so what that means, Mr. Tory Lanez, if you are listening to this, is that you could have your whole community of fans essentially staking in future licensing revenue of your music, or any other artist listening to this. But here's the cool thing. The cool thing is that it doesn't stop there, because you can use any type of intellectual property staking. So you could stake a book. Maybe you're somebody who has a big book deal coming up, and you say, well, I like to create an iNFT for that particular product and for that IP. And so you can do that, and then any of your actual readers can essentially stake in future licensing of your book deal. So not only are you going to get paid on your book deal, but the people that are reading and really your listeners and people that are involved in the growth of your network will essentially be able to capitalize on that future licensing revenue. Now that's huge because that's never been done before. So what we are doing with our DeFi economy is we are creating this, we are cultivating this. And this is not an easy process. This is not a snap your fingers and it's ready to go. No, multiple contracts have to be created to essentially have this magnificent project actually work, where we can say, okay, now we're ready to onboard 100 iNFTs. And so we're going to be switching our network to a much more viable network, to one that I just spoke about earlier, hint, hint. And that is going to give us the increased capability of bringing on a tremendous amount of iNFTs without having to pay so much out of pocket for staking fees. That's huge. That's absolutely huge. And so this project that I've been speaking to you about for the past 6-7 minutes is an extremely undervalued project. Now, I want you to think about this, because the iNFTs are essentially only one portion of our project. But what if I could tell you that we essentially, as a unit, have a better project in its user capability than Bitcoin does? And now Bitcoin has 18.6 million coins in circulation, roughly. We have over 100,000, but our max supply is 4.3 million coins, and it's deflationary. Now, in addition to that, we also have a transactional coin, which was derived from our main coin. So we took 10,000 coins of our main coin, and we derived a 10 billion supply on the Binance Smart Chain for our transactional coin. And so now we have two different coins on our decentralized financial economy. And the way this is going to work is, when we have this all set and ready to go, it will essentially revolutionize the way people look at DeFi going forward. And it will bring in names like Gary Vee, like Tory Lanez, like the people who you think would never, ever, ever join something like that, will now start to see the viability of essentially what our ecosystem is going to do. And the reason why I'm talking to you all about this right now is to tell you that you have an ability of getting involved in this ecosystem at a very, very, very cheap price. So if you want to get more information of exactly how you can get into this, then I need you guys to get back to me here. I need you to comment in the section DeFi, DEFI. Comment DeFi, and I will send you some more videos and products to basically give you the viability and show you why this is going to be absolutely epic. Have a great day or night, and we'll talk to you soon. Live out.